Hello, everybody. Welcome to another All Maverick movie reaction with me, Alan, and Tom. You good, Tom?
Right, yeah, it was me and Jez last time, and we missed
It
you.
was. I know. You watched Warrior.
That was weird without you.
Did you? I know. It's the first video that I've not been in, and to be honest with you, I quite enjoyed it. Did you enjoy Warrior?
Yeah, it was really good, and literally 2 or 3 days later, I watched it again with my friend.
That's how much you liked it.
Well, you know, we were going to the UFC anyway, so and it's
you were.
related,
Yeah.
so I thought just watch it. And it was
Get you
actually
warmed
on
up.
TV the next day after we watched it,
Oh my god!
but we didn't.
Did you watch it again?
No, almost.
So today we're watching another movie that you haven't seen, and like I think people when you watched Warrior, I think people could kind of go, yeah, "It's a good movie," but I can understand why you've not seen that. Today we are watching Die Hard, one of the most classic action movies of all time. One you've not seen.
No, not at all.
I mean, it's an 80s movie. You're I'm a kid of the 90s. You're like a kid of the noughties, I guess, really. So I guess why you might not have seen it, but it is still, like, even nowadays, a popular action movie. What do you know about the movie?
Well, I don't know. I know as much about it as I could tell you about like the other action movies like Rambo. It's just people with guns and shooting stuff. And that people say it's a Christmas movie.
Right.
But that's
I think you're going to be... You know how you were surprised when we watched Lethal Weapon and it wasn't just an action movie? Mm-hmm. Die Hard is like that.
Mm-hmm. Is it like 24?
It's like 24.
No,
yeah.
is it? Is it?
No.
Ah.
No. You know who stars in it though, right? Bruce Willis?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, of course.
So this was like Bruce Willis's first big action thing. Like before this, Bruce Willis was not an action star. You know how like we always think of Bruce Willis as like an action movie guy and stuff now, right? Like before this, he'd pretty much just done like comedies and stuff like that. He used to do a TV series called Moonlighting, and this was his first kind of step into action movies. So everyone was kind of like, "What the fuck?"
That
When
is
Bruce
weird.
Willis got the part. Yeah,
See,
because you would always have thought of Bruce Willis as an action star, right?
Well, ever since I can remember, yeah, like I can. Well, I mean, apart from in the more recent years where he kind of does whatever, a bit like Nicolas Cage, but
Yeah.
he was always an action man.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Before this, yeah, he was kind of did like a comedy TV series and stuff like that. Obviously, Bruce Willis, I don't know if you've seen, has been like going through all these kind of like medical problems recently, which is kind of why I was like, you know what, let's watch Die Hard and get to see sort of peak Bruce. So let's watch the movie. Let's see what you think, and then at the end, I want to know if you think Die Hard's a Christmas movie.
Well, I thought Lethal Weapon was.
Well, exactly. You can settle the score once and for all, Tom, if Die Hard is a Christmas movie. Are you ready to take that weight on your shoulders?
Yeah, I mean it. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's start the movie and let's see what you think. This is Tom's first time ever watching Die Hard. You ready, Tom? Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's go in 3, 2, 1, go. So this was like Alan Rickman's first movie, I think, or like his first starring role, like big role in a movie anyway.
Yeah, I don't really know much films with him in. Obviously Harry Potter, but apart from that.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
And I haven't seen Harry Potter either, so.
Alan Rickman is a legend, Tom. That's how good he is.
Yeah, it did seem that way when he died.
So you divorced? Just drive the car, man.
This guy, he's going in hard. Like Argyle, it's fucking awkward, all right?
He needs to chill out. I do know there's a scene in A Die Hard where he's in an event and he has a lighter or some shit.
Do you think that might be this Die Hard? Do you think it might be one of the sequels?
Don't know. Maybe this one.
Well, go on, show him. What are you, embarrassed?
This guy is like, he is like pinnacle 80s dickhead in movies. Like the beard, the power suit. Like this is every 80s movie dickhead rolled into one.
Yeah, he's like.
I think they might have all been based on him. He was probably the original.
Yeah, he's like a super Chad. He thinks. He thinks he could take on the world, but John will give him one slap and that's it. He'll be done.
Oh.
Get out of here! Fucking hell!
We're trying to fix our marriage. You just ruined it.
These are the baddies.
No way. This is the party truck. How long are you giving that guy on the front desk to live, Tom?
The whole movie, mate.
Cool. He's gonna be the actual hero.
Speed's worthy on the break. Over to AC to Magic, then back to
Fuck.
Damn it. There he is. It's fucking Snape.
That's right. Rickman's in charge.
More like Prickman.
Ooh.
He's a bad
Up
one.
until this point, I think he was basically just like a theatre actor, really. Look at that. No one's even noticed this massive group of people just walking in with all of their fucking machine pistols.
I feel like someone would have. Oh shit.
Someone's definitely noticed at this point. Oh.
I think so.
I bet she wasn't supposed to fall over there. Oh. Oh, look, there's that pair from before. They found an office.
Disgusting.
Guy's making the most of his Christmas party.
Shouldn't do that. Anyone could have walked in. And they weren't prepared for an ambush.
They were not, were they? It doesn't matter how safe the sex was they were practicing, they were not ready to take on the machine guns.
Can never be safe enough. Floor 31. Oh, fuck that.
Is that about 28 floors too high for you?
Yeah.
Nice suit.
Nice suit.
John Phillips, London.
He does sound like the Snake. Is that just how he always sounds?
It's basically Harlan Rickman sounds, yeah.
Don't know anyone else that sounds like that. No, we've got Italians.
Yep. Got a real mixture here. We've got German guy, Italian guy. So Americans, Germans. I said Germans twice now.
Yeah, you don't need information.
Look at that. That little screen pops up out of the desk. Look at it. How fancy is that? Why don't we have those anymore?
I don't know. I don't know why we had them in the first place.
Because they're great.
$1 million in negotiable
Because you could have your dinner on it and then do your work at it.
and the computer controls.
But you spill any drink, it's seeping right down into that
That's
crack.
very true. That is very true.
Terrorists, are you?
Who said they were terrorists?
Who said we were?
Terry's. Bloody Terry's.
They're just robbers, mate.
Where was this? This is in LA, right?
Yeah, it's in LA, yeah.
Mate, you should just call up the Lethal Weapon boys. They'll come out.
Yeah, they should, shouldn't they?
Imagine that. That would have been awesome.
That would have been a hell of a team up.
Get on the jet to Tokyo and ask the chairman. I'm telling you, you're just gonna have to kill me.
Okay,
There you go.
Oh.
we do it the hard way.
That guy there, the like Asian guy, was also a villain in Lethal Weapon.
Okay.
He was the guy that tortured Riggs, electrocuted him, gave him like electric shocks. He was like 80s villain guy.
Do you know what he should do, though? Because there is a
Get a
chance
pair-
they'll stop the alarm. Just smash
Yeah.
the window and chuck loads of shit out the window and like
Yeah,
flashing lights, gunshots and shit.
this guy, fucking pound shop Henry Cavill.
Mate, he's got aim hacks. He knows where he is. That's cheating. How does he know?
I promise I won't.
He's stream sniping him.
Yeah.
Get him, John!
Classic. Classic.
Oh,
They just spin around shooting, aiming at nothing. Oh my god.
oh.
Wait, John's shoving his own head. What happened to him?
I think he busted his neck.
Now I have a machine gun.
Jesus.
Fucking hell, that'd be pretty terrifying, wouldn't it?
Well, I don't know. I was just thinking it would be pretty cool.
But you think that'd be fun, Tom? You were scared to go in the lift.
Look how high up he is. Fuck that.
Was it like 60th floor, wasn't it, or something?
Surprised his hair's not blown around.
Anyone copying Channel 9?
Okay, this is... He's being clever now. It's the cleverest thing he's done so far.
But yeah, if you put the weight either slightly away, that That fucking gun's coming through.
Uh-oh.
Oh, fuck. It's slipping.
God. That was very lucky.
That was. This is the bit you mean, right?
Yeah, I think I've just seen a screenshot of him in here
Yeah.
with a lighter or something.
Here you go. You ready, Tom? You ready?
This is it. I've seen this bit.
There you go.
Oh! There we go.
There you go, that bit.
This is my favourite bit.
We'll have a few laughs.
Driving this car, Stevie Wonder.
Chuck something out the window.
Uh-oh. Oh. Oh. What a bloody action hero role.
There we go. Oh my god.
There you go. Did you think he's getting the message across now?
Yeah, this one. I've heard that before.
Kid, he's out of there.
Oh yeah, he's still just chilling. What the fuck?
Argo. Argo's having the best day of his life.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
Yeah, you must know the term yippee-ki-yay,
There's
motherfucker.
so many things that I've heard but not seen.
Well, that's a diehardism, man. Everywhere it's come from is from this movie. Apparently, Argyle's not planning on driving anywhere for the rest of the night.
Yeah, it must be almost midnight now. It's almost Christmas. He's in there. He's like, what? What are you talking about?
Why did they include that bit of the guy hurting himself on the plant?
They're the worst
Oh, there he
police
is.
of all time.
There he is, the pro torturer.
Fucking hell, mate. He's
stocked
ready.
up.
And he's gonna die instantly before he gets to use even one of them. It's the Batmobile. Let's go. Oh, terrible driving.
Fucking hell.
Fucking hell. What are they doing?
Oh my god, the quarterback is toast.
This looks like a terrible idea.
Jerkweed.
John McClane makes a lot of terrible ideas.
Oh my god.
It's lucky to just fucking kill everyone near the bottom.
Jesus. The whole building's gonna come down. Everyone's like, damn, John's the real terrorist.
Yeah, John's killed everybody. John just killed 30 hostages.
The following people are to be released from their captors. In Northern Ireland, the 7 members of the New Provo Front. In Sri Lanka, the 9 members of the Asian Dawn. I read about them in Time magazine. When these revolutionary brothers and sisters are free, the hostages in this building will be taken to the roof.
He's just wasting time so they can get in the vault.
He is. You got him there, Tom. You figured him out.
I'm better than the police.
The FBI's here. The FBI is here now? Yes, sir, right over there.
The FBI is so weird in this. Like, look, just this little thing.
Agent Johnson, this is Special Agent Johnson. Oh, how you doing? No relation.
They just call both called Johnson. Just randomly. Oh.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker. He's speaking German.
You just hate speaking German.
I thought he would.
No, he's just speaking with a bad American accent.
He doesn't want him to know his hands.
Yeah. He hasn't seen him yet, has he?
No. Just smack him though, just in case. Just knock him out.
Knock him about a bit.
I'm John McClane. You're,
Clay. Bill.
Oh, William Clay. Oh my god.
time for the real thing, Bill.
shoot him instantly. Do it, Hans.
You want Hans to win?
Just shoot him. It could all be over right now.
Mate.
33. Stockwerk. Kommt. Sofort.
Bill! I thought we were buddies. Oh, shit. Oh, that guy got fucked. No, it was the hair model.
What is he doing? Should he use Hans as a fucking human shield?
Yeah.
God, that man looks really pissed. Still.
Great observation.
They're in.
Oh, there's the fan blowing on his head. Look.
Yeah.
Didn't have that when they were on the roof.
No, but down here in the basement, it's glorious.
How does that happen?
Oh, shit. There's a lot of C4 up there.
Holy crap. That's a lot.
Look at all that.
It's Carl. That
Hey, Carl.
motherfucker.
Sorry about your brother. Fucking Carl. Carl's a fighter.
Yeah, I feel like if John wasn't the main character, he would have lost a long time ago.
In the subtitle, he said, I'm going to fucking cook you and I'm going to fucking eat you.
Jesus.
Oh, he fucking hung you.
Oh no. Don't do it.
How much would you be shitting it right now, Tom?
Yeah, I'd rather die.
Oh, look at that. His blood-smeared feet.
Oh, there he is. He looks well bored now.
He is. He's...
That's the baddies. Oh, see, Argyle's the real hero of this movie.
Look at this.
What the fuck is going on?
So there's a shot earlier on where you see them all get out the back of that lorry and that little van isn't in it.
Yeah, I was going to say, I didn't notice a van in there earlier.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like a well-known, like, little goof in the film. Look at this.
Nice one, Argyle.
Argyle's gonna fuck you up. So it's come down to Hans and the receptionist.
Put down the gun. Yippee-ki-yay. Motherfucker.
Motherfucker.
Oh, yeah, I've seen him falling before.
Yeah, it's another pretty well-known scene. Now, I'm pretty sure... Oh. Ooh. On that wide shot of him falling, the way they got that was they actually dropped him out a window and they painted the airbag on the ground to look like the ground.
Okay.
So they could get that big overhead shot of him actually dropping.
That's pretty cool.
Why is there so many papers falling?
$600 million worth of papers, mate. It's a lot of
Shit.
paper.
That is a lot of paper. Oh my god!
Oh my god, Carl's still alive. What the fuck?
Carl's back!
How is he still alive? Pal, do it.
Oh!
Yes. It's got to be Pal that's done that, right?
Boom! Hey! All the heroes are turning up.
I'm surprised people aren't shooting at that car. Like, that car's
I
just
know.
driven out the building where all the terrorists were.
Yeah, just drove through it.
Look, and they're just like, oh, he's waving. That could have been a bad guy in there, just waving.
Yeah.
And they're just like, yeah, see.
Oh! There you go, you got the punch you deserved. There we go, Tom. That was Die Hard. So, what did you think of Die Hard, Tom?
Well, first of all,
Yeah.
it's not a Christmas movie.
Oh, I was going to save that for the end, Tom. It's not a Christmas movie.
No.
What do you mean? It had Christmas music at the very end.
Yeah, but it's not a Christmas. It was much less of a Christmas movie than Lethal Weapon was.
You think Lethal Weapon was more of a Christmas movie?
Only just.
I'm interested. Just. But was Lethal Weapon a Christmas movie? I can't remember. In your opinion. I can't remember if you thought Lethal Weapon was a Christmas movie.
I don't know. Probably.
I think you did. So did it just tip the scale a bit more than Die Hard?
Yeah, I mean, the other. Yeah, this wasn't a Christmas movie. This was just. This was a proper action movie.
There you go. Tom has set there we go. It's official. Die Hard. Not an action. No,
Not
let's say
an
not an
action
action movie. Not a Christmas movie.
Mm-hmm.
Not a Christmas movie.
Nope.
Well, okay. Apart from not being a Christmas movie, what did you think of the movie itself?
I think it was good. I'm glad it wasn't non-stop action all the time. It was it's a lot of back and forth, like characters trying to outsmart each other, I guess. It was pretty good, and I like the fact that there was a long time, for like maybe 20 minutes, maybe half an hour, where John was just smoking cigarettes and like just talking on the radio to people, and
Yeah.
I liked it. It wasn't just always fighting and all that crap.
Well, that's the problem in a lot of films now, isn't it? That like an action movie feels like it has to be constant action.
Yeah.
Like literally. And when you have action that is just from the beginning of the movie to the end of the movie, your brain just checks out. You need those points where things just stop and kind of come down a little bit and have those moments. And that's something that I think Lethal Weapon does really well as well. You know, there's moments away from the action. Now, Lethal Weapon has, and we're not going to make this a constant comparison, but Lethal Weapon does bigger moments away from the action, right? Because this, you're all stuck in one location, so it's all one night, it's all one situation, whereas that's taking place over a period of time. So they could actually have complete moments away from the action where it was like sitting around having a meal at dinner and stuff like that. But
I did like that this was all in one place. I wasn't sure if
Yeah.
this was going to be one of those movies where it's like I said, his wife gets kidnapped and then we have to spend a few days watching him trying to get her back and stuff. It was good that it all took place in one night. That made it better.
So I think that Die Hard was actually the kind of the first movie of that. Well, maybe not the first, but one of the first movies of that type where it was kind of like something happens in a location and it's based around that location. Because then you start to get a lot of these kind of films, like you got the Steven Seagal one, which the name suddenly escapes me, on the boat, and you started to get like a lot of these films where they were focused on like one location and everything taking place there. Without really going into it, like Die Hard 2 follows that trend as well, and it kind of breaks away from it with the third movie. Die Hard, I will say, Die Hard 1, 2, and 3 are all good. After that, they just really go off the deep end. But Die Hard 1, 2, and 3 are good movies, and we should watch them. Yeah, so you enjoyed this?
Yeah, definitely. I think, like I said, I liked that it was all kept in one place. I liked it wasn't all action all the time. Because when it was action, I guess I'm not a massive action movie fan, but when it was stuff like him fighting a car or, you know, the shootout scenes, I was just like, they're cool, but they don't build on the characters and the story, and that's what I want. More than the action. But, you know, without the action scenes in this movie, what would this movie be? It would be weird.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
you got to have them, but, you know,
of course,
they're not my favourite part of the movie.
No, it takes a real, like, it takes a very specific kind of action movie that can use the action to continue to tell its story well. I think, like, it's something like that actually people like Jackie Chan were really good at. Like, he's dead. Jackie Chan's always been really good at actually telling the story through the action. And there's fun stuff in this and interesting stuff, like, you know, the idea that after Hans finds out that actually John's running around barefoot, so they start shooting out the windows to try and take him out. And little scenes like where he puts the guy in the chair, you know, and sends him down in the elevator, so he can like listen into their conversation and try to get more of an idea of who's there. And
I didn't actually think of that with the glass. I just
did you not? Did you not think that's why they were shooting the windows?
I thought he thought John was using it to like see the reflection of where they were hiding or something.
No. Yeah, he was shooting the windows because he knew he was barefoot.
Makes sense. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Because when he had to run across it, it'd mess up his feet. But I didn't think if that's why they were shooting the windows.
Yeah, it's always the bit I remember from when I was a kid watching this with my dad. I always remember thinking like that was always the thing I remembered the most about him being barefoot and like cutting all his feet up. I don't know why it was, but it was always like the bit that stuck in my mind. I think just the idea of him being in the bathroom having to pull out bits of glass out of his feet just kind of like creeped me out
horrible.
as a kid.
It's disgusting. I stepped on glass once and probably a few times actually, and it's not nice. And I can't imagine stepping on loads of glass. So
imagine running through that hole like full of it.
yeah.
So one thing as well, obviously, is that like I don't want to insult the guy, but like not even ignoring the crapper movies that Bruce Willis has done over the last like year to 2 years, he has kind of phoned it in for quite a while now. Like, there's been a lot of movies. I can't think of the last movie that I saw where Bruce Willis really felt like he was kind of giving it his all, and I think it's a real shame because actually, like in this and a lot of other movies around this time, he's really charismatic. He's got a lot going on, and like he's a good leading man.
Yeah, but I guess it's not all down to him, is it? It's down to how it's written for him and people directing him to, they're like, be the
I
old
don't know,
Bruce
because I've
Willis.
seen good movies where Willis just hasn't given a shit. Like, where it's like, oh, this is pretty good. Bruce Willis doesn't seem to fucking care, though. But, hey-ho. The man's rich, right? The man's made his money. He's done his years of movies. I mean, he's like, how old is he now? 70-something?
Yeah, he must be. I mean, I think with this movie, just like Lethal Weapon again, I was expecting just a shootout all the time, explosions all the time, and that there was some of that, but that's not what it was about. It was.
I am interested to know what the movie you think is when you think action movie, like because. We watched 2 now and neither of them have been that. So I'm interested to see the film that we watch and you go, this is what I thought it was going to be. Is it a Rambo movie? Is it like the second Rambo where everything just goes insane? Is that your image of... Or is your idea of action movie something more recent, like a...
I guess I watched stuff like when I was growing up, like The Expendables, and it's just
That's what I was going to say, The Expendables. Is that what you think of?
Yeah, when I think of like... traditional crappy action movies, I think of although I didn't like Expendables at the time, but I'm sure watching it back I'll be like, this is pants. But it's because it had all the heroes in it, all the old guys.
Yeah, it did. It had all of these guys in it. But I think actually you might be surprised then if you watch more 80s action movies, because I think you'll find more of them like this than like The Expendables. Like The Expendables is just everything turned up to 11, whereas I think a lot more 80s action stuff is more, not everything, but a lot of it I think is in this vein. This kind of like not constant action, these like peaks and troughs of madness, and then settles down for a minute. And
yeah, I guess
because I think part of it is they just didn't have the money to throw at like constant action for.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. I just assume when I think of old action movies that they're all just going to be someone's dying in every single scene, and there's people have unlimited ammo in their guns, and they're just.
I mean, I think
shooting.
Rambo will probably. I think like maybe like the third Rambo movie or something. You'll be like, yeah, this is what I was thinking of. I'm pretty sure there's a scene in that where he's just stood on a beach with a machine gun and he's firing for about 5 minutes, and not having to reload. That kind of like mad shit. But yeah, luckily your Die Hards and Lethal Weapons aren't that movie, which I'm glad. I think if they were, I think I'd rewatch them a lot less. I don't think I'd care about them as much.
No, definitely. I mean, we're kind of moving on from that. I think John McClane was such a good character. He was, I did kind of take the piss at the start where I was like, he's making such bad decisions, but I guess he didn't really have time to think about it. Plus, he's just an average cop who was put into this situation, and he's trying to do his best. So,
yeah, I think that is actually like a important detail, because that's what he is, right? He's kind of the everyman. He's not. He wasn't. It was. This is kind of why people were like, "This is weird." When it was John McClane and Bruce Willis, because like he wasn't Arnie, he wasn't Stallone. He was a relatively average-looking guy in the situation. Whereas action movies around now, they're all things like Commando and stuff with like a guy who's got muscles the size of like your waist, like that kind of thing. And you're like, it's just not believable. But he was he was more like a real guy, right? And he did make mistakes, like you say. You kept saying earlier on, why does he keep doing this or why does he do that? Because he was more like an actual guy, right? Put in a situation that he had no control over.
I can't say I'd do any better if I was actually in that situation. So.
Well, yeah, exactly. and I think part of where the Die Hard movies start to go off the deep end, especially with like 4, 5. Is there a 6? I can't fucking remember. Maybe 4 and 5. I think is that they start to make him more of that kind of action hero. Like, there's a bit in Die Hard 4 where he rides a motorbike up a ramp and takes out a helicopter using the motorbike.
Definitely seen that somewhere.
Like, that is not this guy, is it? Like, that's not what this guy here is doing. That's a different John McClane. This guy here is an average copper. That guy is basically the fucking Terminator.
Yeah, it's like the Fast and Furious movies these days.
Exactly. Like, it's more that kind of thing rather than being like a realistic person. And I don't think everyone has to be realistic, but if you were to jump now and watch like Die Hard 5, I think you'd be like, what the fuck? Like, this isn't the same man. Whereas he's much more consistent through 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, I think that's the problem with any series, whether it's TV or movie or even games. It's like, they want to try and make each one better and better, but
bigger, right? They go bigger
and better, but it ends up actually being a detriment to it and actually just making it worse. People like the originals, so just make one or two and stop there.
Yeah, exactly. And like I say, 2. I think 3 is actually better than 2, but maybe we'll get around to watching those as well and get your opinion. So, anything is really in here of note to you? Like, what did you think of Alan Rickman as the villain?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I've not seen many films with him in. I've never seen any of the Harry Potters, and I thought he was great. Well, I've seen the last Harry Potter, but that doesn't count.
And I find that's a different conversation for a different day, Tom. The fact that you've seen the very last Harry Potter movie and none of the others, that's insane enough. But we'll circle back around to that one another day. Yeah, so you've not seen a lot of Alan Rickman then, really?
No, I mean,
if anything.
I probably have, but I couldn't tell you what films it was. But no, I thought he was really good. Like, I liked, he was very, I liked that his character or his whole team, not just him, they had it all planned out. They knew exactly what they wanted to do. And even though John was getting in the way, that wasn't really stopping them until right at the end. He had it all under control. He was a great bad guy. And I like the way when John found him, he started using his American accent and trying to trick him. He was a really good bad guy. I think he did a good job.
I like a lot of the little quips that he makes, like talking about when he goes to when he went to Takagi, when he was like, when he named his suit and he was like, I've got 2 myself, or when he was naming the terrorists who he wanted to have released, and the guy looks at him like, who the hell are they? And he's just kind of like,
He was like, I read them in a magazine.
Read about them in Time magazine.
I
like a lot. Yeah. He's like a smart bad guy, isn't he? Like you say, he had it all planned out. He knew exactly what he's doing. He wasn't just a brawny idiot. And I think that's why someone like Alan Rickman plays the role well, because he was like I say, I think this may have been his first film role. If not his first, it was kind of like, it was definitely his first lead role, as it were. And I think you needed someone like him to, because he was like a theatre actor, right? You needed someone who had that kind of like theatric feel to them to pull off the role properly, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, he definitely didn't feel like I don't know. Well, again, a regular action bad guy that I would have expected. He was, usually you expect them to be a little bit clever and have a bit of a plan, but at the end of the day, they're just sending in men in their hordes to try and kill the main character. But that's not what he was doing. He came here with 12 dudes, well, 11 dudes, and then he's the 12th. and
Yeah.
he was, trying to get this money, and that was it. And he knew what he was doing. Like you said, he called up, said, "I'll release these people in Northern Ireland and Sri Lanka and all these weird places." And he got him to wire the helipad. Like, very clever character, and it's not just the character, but the way, like, I don't know, I couldn't really see anyone else playing that character. Like,
Yeah, I know what
I
you
thought
mean.
he
Like,
did a really
if I
good
try
job.
to think of who would you recast him with, I'm like, oh, I don't know. I don't really know who else. And this is why I think Hans Gruber's like such a well-known role, and it's one of probably gone on to continue to be one of Alan Rickman's most well-known parts. Like, you could say more well-known for Snape, but you'd be like, well, he played that role like 6 times. This was like a one-off and his first film role, and and stays up there as one of his most well-known parts. So yeah, I can't see who else would play him really.
no, I mean, yeah, I'm trying to think of bad guys in movies, but I don't think anyone, like you said, I think coming from a theatre background, he was able to play the character differently to a more, I guess, traditional actor who's only done films. So
Yeah.
it was interesting. I did like him.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it, Tom, even though you don't think it's a Christmas movie. What about Argyle and Powell? We've got to give a shout out to like our 2 kind of like main supporting guys. Like, I think they added a bit of fun to it, right? Like, it doesn't have the same level of humour as like Lethal Weapon did, but I think they were good to have as like fallback characters, especially Powell, in that, because otherwise it'd be a lot of John McClane just walking around and standing around not saying anything. He needed somebody to kind of back and forth with a little bit and have somebody to talk to.
Yeah, it would have been weird if he was just up there on his own, not talking to anyone, or talking to someone who he didn't really create a friendship with. But I like Powell. I like Argyle. He was funny, but Powell was he was cooler. I liked him more.
You could kind of feel that when he actually came out of the building after their little conversations and stuff, when they hugged and stuff, you could kind of believe it, as being something. And, obviously our other like main supporting character was Holly, who didn't really get a great deal. Like, she was a strong woman, like definitely a strong character, like you could see she'd gone out to LA by herself to, with her kids to kind of, do the best she could, but they didn't give her a great deal to do in this, apart from she was clearly one step ahead a lot of the time. Like, she knew what was going on, right? She knew how to handle the situation well, especially next to idiots like Ellis and people like that.
She did become the leader after Takagi died. And I do wonder, like, if John had done something like this before in some sort of way, not like this, but some crazy stuff, because she knew the whole time, she seemed to know, she was like, oh, he's still alive, or, he's going to do it.
John can piss someone off like that.
Yeah, like, she had full faith in him, which, I think if I was her, I would have been scared that he was going to die, or he was not going to do it.
John knows how to handle a situation. That's the important thing. John, I mean, and let's talk about Ellis as well. Like, oh God, he's so, like, you know what? I actually like the guy playing him because he just made him play such a shitty little scumbag, like the epitome of 80s business asshole. Like,
he was
so slimy.
He was the worst. He was the right bellend.
And put himself in a position where he got himself killed. Guy could have survived that whole movie if he hadn't done that. I reckon he'd have been fine, wouldn't he?
Yeah, I mean, it was... Well, I guess it's true. It could only go one or two ways, whether he lived or died, but it was either he died being an idiot, which he did, or he lived because he helped Gruber escape, but that was never going to happen unless Gruber was going to be in the second movie. So
he's definitely not going to be in the sequel, my friend. He's definitely dead, unfortunately. As much as I would love to see the return of Hans Gruber, he is done. So one last thing I really want to ask you. I'm interested. Well, actually, no, I've got 2 things. One, Tom, what are you giving this movie out of 10?
Well, it's a hard question. I was literally just
You gave
thinking
Lethal
about
Weapon
this.
a 7, and actually they kind of tie together because I wanted to know what did you prefer out of Lethal Weapon and Die Hard? Because Die Hard is always like, Die Hard is the one that most people think of as like the 80s action movie, I personally prefer Lethal Weapon. But I am interested. I love Die Hard, but I prefer Lethal Weapon. I'm interested to know your feelings on it.
Well, I'm starting to think that I may have put Warrior too high, but
What did you rate Warrior? I can't remember.
I don't know, 8 point something.
Oh, an 8 point something. That's big numbers.
That is a big number. Well, I think overall, I mean, my memory's not great, but I remember enjoying Lethal Weapon, and I liked the characters. I like the whole family stuff and how what is it, Riggs and Shaw.
Riggs and Murtaugh.
Don't know why I got Shaw. Riggs and Murtaugh.
Isn't Shaw from Fast and the Furious?
Mate, Hobbs and Shaw, yeah.
Yeah.
Riggs and Murtaugh. I like their dynamic, which is difficult because now I want to make that score higher than 7. But
Well, Tom, you did say that you would probably rescore Lethal Weapon later on. I'm not saying you got to do it now, but you did say that you were giving it a 7 because you didn't want to go too high too early. That's what you'd said. So, well, okay. Without putting a score on this, then how do you rate Lethal Weapon next to Die Hard? Which one did you prefer? Would you say, or
well, I need to put a score on it now. I've started doing scores. I have no choice.
Go on then.
So
Give us a score on Die Hard, and if you want to rescore Lethal Weapon now, you go for it, or you hold back for now.
Well, I want to put it quite high. I did enjoy Warrior, but the problem is with these things is it's so arbitrary and it doesn't actually fucking matter.
It means
anyway.
nothing. It doesn't matter at all, Tom.
So let's
It's
give
just
it
funny.
a 12. No, I'm joking.
Tom's giving it 12 out of 10.
Let's go. Gonna give this one 7 point
Ooh, a point.
8. Seven point.
7.8.
Yeah,
Such an arbitrary number.
I know.
I love it.
I can't wait to see it once we watch like 100
So it's higher than
films.
Lethal Weapon, because Lethal Weapon got a straight 7, I think.
I know.
There we
but
go.
if I could go back and bump it up, I probably would.
Oh, okay. What would you put that at? 7.9?
Nah, at least a 7.5.
Oh, so you gave this a 7.8, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so you prefer Die Hard? There we go.
Yeah, I like John McClane. I think it was, before this, and I even said it at the start of the film. I like the dynamic between Riggs and
Murtaugh.
Yeah. But I like. In the end, I think I did like it that it was one character on their own, trying to not just one character fighting all people on his own. That didn't really matter, but one person, and we saw everything he was doing, all
In a situation.
all his thoughts. Him contacting Hans, him contacting Powell, him speaking to the chief of police, him like coming up with crazy things like dropping that computer down the elevator with bombs attached to it, him outsmarting Hans with the gun. Like,
Yeah.
I did quite, I wasn't sure if I'd enjoy it more because he was on his own, but because the other two bounced off each other pretty well. But no,
Yeah.
I think Bruce Willis did a great job.
There we go. Well, I think that is why I prefer Lethal Weapon. I think it is the dynamic between Riggs and Murtaugh. That's what really lifts it for me. Like, I like all those moments outside of the action. I like the outside of the action moments more in that than I like them in this. And I think I prefer the slightly more fun, silly action of Lethal Weapon to this. Though Lethal Weapon does get a bit stranger as it goes on, and like I say, it gets a bit sillier, but not in like a ridiculous jump the shark kind of way. But no, both are, I think, very strong representations of 1980s action movies.
Well, once we've watched the first 3 of each, we'll total the scores and put them against each other, see which one I ultimately think is better.
Oh, there we go. We'll find the median score out of that. It'll be great. Right, well, there we go. That's something for you to hang in for, to see us watch 3 Die Hards and 3 Lethal Weapons. I'm excited. I'm
Yeah,
excited
really.
to see how that goes. Well, there we go. Thank you for watching this Die Hard reaction. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please like and subscribe. Leave us a comment below. Let us know your favourite moments of the movie. Remember, you can head over to allmaverick.com where you can check out our videos, our blogs, our podcasts. You can also go to twitch.tv/allmaverick live where on Tuesdays, Thursday evenings, we're streaming some of our favourite games. Literally just before we filmed this video, Tom and I were trying to complete Cuphead. It didn't go well, did it, Tom?
No, I almost pulled a Hans Gruber.
You almost pulled a Hans Gruber. What, you going to jump out the window?
Yeah, it was. It really was.
Maybe next week, Tom. Anyway, thank you all for watching this. Hope you've enjoyed it, and we will hopefully see you on the next video. Bye, everyone.
See ya.